I finally unlocked the best costume in the game and... What? Where is it? I swore it'd be somewhere in this menu if I just looked under the right character. I can't find it anywhere. Oh, Burger Toad, you're safe now. I'm sorry you got lost in all these menus. Hi, I'm Try, and today we're back at it again with another UI video. Yes, people love them, so I'm gonna keep them coming. We're gonna be looking at Mario Kart World, and not just the character select screen, which is universally despised by all who happen upon it. We're gonna look at everything, and break down why Nintendo or the UI artists might have made some of the decisions they did, and some of my thoughts as someone who studied UX design in my college years. To start, we're gonna look at the main menu. From a visual standpoint, it's really strong. These low opacity black tire marks in the back of the menu buttons make the white text stick out and ensure that even if your character is driving through a bright area, you shouldn't have any problem seeing it, which is great. It's also fun because tires are black and the texture they added really hits home on the Mario Kart World road trip feel. I think it's interesting that at the bottom here, we have buttons with no text. It's usually good practice in UX to label your buttons unless they're conventionally used all the time, like a home or a volume button. But there is a hover state for these buttons, so you know that these are stickers, map, and manual. The cursor used is also bright and has some nice motion to it, which really makes it stand out. Now for my biggest nitpick on this screen, in the bottom right you see the option for free roam mode. I don't know if you were like me, but I thought free roam mode would be in the single player section since you can only do free roam by yourself. I remember looking through the different menu options and being pretty puzzled until I went back and scanned the whole main menu. The small white text really doesn't stand out, especially compared to everything else. Would it have been better to put it next to the stickers at the bottom, or maybe just increase the size? I'm not sure, that's something I definitely play around with though. But once we do get into free roam mode, we get this seamless transition into the world, and I really like that as a menu feature. The minimal UI in free roam both helps and hinders the overall experience. We have a mini map, which I think is a really well done mini map. I'm able to very clearly see where I am. The 3D models make it feel more alive, and it's easy to tell where you are or where you're facing. I found out that it does disappear if you go under a cave or overhang, for example, and I'm kind of curious why they didn't just do some see-through or x-ray version of the map so you could still see what's on your same plane in the world, but it's whatever. Remember when I talked about this minimal UI being a help and hinder to the experience? I think one of the most egregious examples of this is, well, I'll just give you an example. Pretend you're playing Breath of the Wild or any game with a map. Quick, what button do you press to get to the map? Time's up. You already tried to click the select button, didn't you? And would you look at that? Not the map, but photo mode. There's a UX law called Jacob's Law, and I think it fits perfectly with this. Users spend most of their time on other sites, or in this instance, other games. This means that users prefer your game to work the same as other games they already know. Nintendo keeps committing this UX law sin in other games too. I remember how excited I was to play The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and we finally got a jump button. Did they map it to A or B like every other game ever? I mean, they literally invented Mario, the jumping game, and A or B is how you jump. No, it's X. It's freaking X. Going back to Mario Kart World, I've made this mistake so many times, and I still do this when I'm in free roam mode or in an online lobby. Granted, this time around Nintendo has made it possible to remap buttons, which is a great feature, thank you for doing that, but you want to get it right the first time around, because frankly, I've been too lazy to remap the buttons, and new users might not even know that's an option. Once you're in photo mode, I feel like I just forget how to do everything. I mean, it has everything labeled on the left, but for some reason I try to use the trigger buttons to take a picture, because my brain just thinks that way, and I wouldn't be surprised if other people accidentally did the same. So how do you get to the map? If it's a face button, my next guess would be X. No, you look around with X. Okay then, is it Y? Ding ding ding. Y takes you to the Mario Kart World map, and I think it's a beautiful map. All the points of interest are characters and courses. When you select a character, you turn into them and free roam where they were placed. When you select a course, you travel there. This map is both fashionable and functional. You understand what it's saying and it looks beautiful. Honestly, no complaints about this map. You can also see how many P-switches, question blocks, and Peach medallions you've collected so far. My only gripe? I have no idea how many more I need to collect. A small number to the side to show out of 200 or 100 would be helpful and still remain unintrusive. Okay, if we head back to the single player modes, I like the way this menu is laid out. Big imagery on the side to reflect the nature of the game mode. This one in particular is so great, and I think it's interesting that they all have little particle effects, with the Grand Prix being the most popular mode, and naturally getting the most unique particle effect with this confetti. It's also placed first. And I love that they figured Knockout Tour would be a big enough mode to be the second one listed, and I'd have to agree. Knockout Tour is amazing. I think the icons for the different modes also look so custom and just full of life and color. This is a great menu. When you get into Grand Prix or any of the other modes, you're met with the character select screen. This is by far the most controversial piece of UI, and for good reason. At a glance, it seems like a fine character select screen. They went to town on showing off characters' personalities in the hover state, and I think that's a wonderful change. You also get a good look at their full outfits, and oh, that's where we have our first issue. The outfits are treated as completely separate characters, and this leads to a lot of confusion about where everything is. I'm not even sure what the default sorting is. Is it whatever is unlocked first, or supposed to be unlocked first? I have no idea. You can sort by character, and this makes it a little easier, but you still have pages and pages to scroll through, which just isn't very fun or intuitive. I think a great solution could be one of two things. Either make it like Mario Kart 8, where you select your character and then a sub-menu pops up with all your skins, or make it like Smash Bros, where by tapping the shoulder buttons you can cycle through the different skins. The last complaint I have about this menu is the lack of clarity on this icon. Oh, I still have characters to unlock? Is this one some kind of Goomba Piranha Plant hybrid? No, it's just an indicator that you have more secondary or comic transformation characters to unlock. This doesn't make that super clear, at least for me it doesn't. Okay, big rant about big problem over. Let's move on to the online mode, and everything is pretty much kosher until you get to playing with friends. Nintendo, why do my friends that don't have Nintendo Switch 2s even show up here? All these Marios with the basic sticker are just taking up space. I do think it's cool that you can see the record you have against friends and their custom stickers and characters, but it just gets lost in the weeds of Mario. Once you do join a room, you're back in free roam mode, but you can visit other players. This is a really fun feature, and I've been fortunate enough to have a wonderful community that wants to play this game with me and snap some photos to commemorate the occasion. The biggest atrocity that online play has to offer is the course selection. There's a bit of a split reaction between fans when it comes to driving between courses and only running through some of the courses in one lap on Grand Prix. Online course selection makes it seem like that's your only option and you pick between 3. If you want to race 3 laps on any course, you can actually do that. It's then the same issue that caused me to miss the free roam mode in the main menu. In the top right, you can hit the plus button to change, which gives you the whole map to be able to pick any course. I had many instances where I was trying to be quick and went to the next biggest icon besides the 3 in the middle, and accidentally hit random course instead of hitting plus to change the course. I guess now we can get into the actual gameplay and UI present of the HUD, aka the heads-up display. Here you have your items, your coin count, what lap you're currently on, what place you're in, and the mini-map to the side. This mini-map works much better than the one in free roam because, well, racing is the most important, and you want to see where you are in comparison to the rest of the group, so that makes sense. Everything else looks really good. I haven't felt they were too in my face, but they aren't too subtle where I'll mess up if I glance to see how many coins I have or what lap I'm on. Our peripherals are strong enough too that we don't really need to shift our focus to see what place we're in, or what's really important in Mario Kart, what items we have. Okay, we're gonna pause just to watch me snipe Cannon with a banana here. Nice. Something that every person assumes UI is all about, and I saved for last because it's one of the easiest to talk about, is the visuals of everything. There is a UX law about aesthetics, and it's called the aesthetic usability effect, where users often perceive aesthetically pleasing design as design that's more usable. And I don't think Nintendo struggled with this at all. The game looks great. In-game, menus, courses, characters, animations, it's all great. But I think this could be why we also don't seem to see the change course button in the online course selection screen or the free roam mode in the main menu. Everything else looks so good and visually pleasing that they draw all our attention and just naturally feel more usable. Nintendo did some great things with Mario Kart World, but I was surprised at how many things they messed up this time around. It feels like there's always a strange decision made among a sea of great ones, and as someone who's been a Nintendo fan for their whole life, it's honestly on brand. Tomorrow, I'm going to be celebrating hitting 10,000 Oh my good golly jeez. I'm going to be celebrating hitting 10,000 subscribers with a very special stream with special announcements including an art contest, a dedicated tri-channel Minecraft server, and some Mario Kart World. So turn notifications on, you won't want to miss it. This channel is going to be packed with Switch 2 content over the coming months, so I usually tell you to consider subscribing, but if you really want to help me out, share this video with a friend or family member you think would enjoy it. If you want to play some of the games that will be coming out with me, join the Discord where we'll be holding events. Huge thanks to my patrons who support me here on YouTube and on Patreon. You guys are helping me get one step closer to my dream of doing YouTube full-time. Links to my Patreon, YouTube memberships, and Discord server are all in the description down below. If you want to know what I think about Donkey Kong Bonanza, click the video that'll pop up. Thanks for watching, I appreciate you being here, and as always,
thank you for all your support!